Okay, today we are playing a game on King's Row. We are playing mostly Winston. There's a bit of D.Va in there, just enough that I felt compelled to say D.Va's in there, but it's mostly Winston. And this is a competitive game, but it was a placement game, so SR, you know, whatever. It's a number, in all likelihood, but we don't know what it was. So our current team composition is Reinhardt, Roadhog, Soldier 76, Farah, Mercy, and Anna. So wholly unremarkable in all ways, and not worth talking about to any significant degree. So let's start the game. We are also on Reinhardt right now. We don't play much Reinhardt. That's why I didn't feel compelled to include him in the list of people we're playing as. It's mostly Winston. There's like 3-4 minutes of D.Va. That might be an overestimate, honestly. So, we change as soon as we die, basically, and it's not long before we die. Because of an... We pushed the charge button when we weren't really allowed to push the charge button. And not to spoil the surprise or anything, but it's coming. It's coming. So we've been waiting for our shield to regenerate. Now we're back up here, then we get bumped forward, now we're trying to hop backwards, and soon, here it comes. It's coming. We're recharging right now. We're gonna charge in the near future, though. Here it comes. It's not allowed. It's not the time. We do at least kill someone, so it's something. But it's not the time. It's not the time. We charge across the world. We don't pin the D.Va. We're sad. Our team dies. We die. And then we change to Winston. Now we're actually... Now we are playing the game. Because really, when you pick Reinhardt, what you're really doing these days is you're saying, alright, I want to play Reinhardt, but I'm actually just going to be sad for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to decide that I want to play the game again. That's basically what picking Reinhardt's like these days. Like when you try to pick a healer other than Mercy, you're like, yeah, I should just change to Mercy, really, you know? You know how it is. So, we lost the first checkpoint. Here comes D.Va's bomb. We put the bubble down. Contained. No problem. All dealt with. We are down, like, all of our resources right now, which makes it very awkward to start a fight. But now our bubble's almost up, so we're starting to go in. Their team's a little awkward because they have a Roadhog and a D.Va, so it's a little awkward for Winston. And eventually they gain a Reaper, which is going to tie into the thing in the email that came with this. But we'll talk about that when we're actually playing D.Va, because it pertains to D.Va. So... that was not exactly the greatest use of company resources from our Farah there, but it is what she decided to do, so... Our team wants to fight pretty far up right now. This is not, you know, not really allowed either, but it's what they're doing, so we're gonna go and we're gonna join in. Jumped in a little bit early, but our shield was up when we got there, basically, but... we take a big chunk of damage from the Junkrat, because, I mean, that's just... You know, and then, oh, D.Va's here, she's got shotguns, we gotta hop away. And then that happens. But, it wasn't the greatest barrage in the world, and we just get rezzed again. And now we're ready for round 2. We do again jump in before our bubble is fully up, but it's just D.Va over here with Anna, so we don't really get overly punished for it. And now we're just using Primal Rage, so we're just trying to be inconvenient for them. There goes the tire. Tire got broken. We punched Junkrat to death. Great. Awesome. Everything worked out. We jump in, like, slightly early, but we like it's like a second difference between having the shield and not having a shield, which can make the difference, but is unlikely to make the difference in most situations. So we try to contain it. Don't quite get it, but, like, close enough. It's not hard to get out of the way of a D.Va ult used like that on King's Row, So, now we got Junkrat and nano-boosted D.Va over here, which is, of course, very spooky, because that's a lot of shotguns, which we're not overly fond of as Winston. And we limp our way out. We should have really, like, left sooner, or been trying to leave sooner, honestly. And now we're, like, waiting to get healed up. Like, just come in here and get this sooner. Like, Anna's doing stuff, yeah, you know... We want to be healed and all that, but more important than that, we just kind of want to get out there as quickly as possible. So the Junkrat's behind us right now. D.Va's over here. Junkrat definitely higher priority than D.Va, so we just hop right past her and start coming over here. And, it gets a little spooky, but we get him. Soldier actually got him, but, like, we got him. You know, Soldier helped, but, like, we got him, you know? So, healthy enough to jump right back in again. Unfortunately, a large portion of our team currently dead right now. A large portion of their team also currently dead, but their team's going to reinforce sooner than ours. We're also just doing that, like, we're opting into we're opting into an uneven fight that we're on the losing end of. And we should just leave and wait for our team. Because even if, like, it goes okay in the 1v2, because it's not people that, like, wreck us matchup-wise, their team's just going to get back faster than ours, so we're still probably going to die anyway. So we just shouldn't have really been doing it. We should have just been waiting for our team to get back. So, now we're going in. We weren't full health when we jumped in, and there's a lot of things over here that are very hostile for us to land in. So, they also have Reaper now, so we're about to change to D.Va. I think we wait to use Primal Rage. No, we don't. Alright. So now we're going to go over to the email, because it has specific questions related to D.Va. So, ever since the D.Va changes, especially the defense matrix, I don't quite get D.Va's purpose. She seems to have basically become a fat DPS like Roadhog, and to a lesser extent Zarya. Her ability to dive and disrupt feels much weaker now. Is there something I'm missing, or is this D.Va's new primary purpose? I've started playing D.Va extremely aggressively, because she always did, like, okay damage, but now, like, if you jump on someone with 200 HP, and you just track decently, and hit them with a few of the missiles, it's really easy to kill someone with 200 HP, like, pretty reliably. Like, you do a surprising amount of burst damage as D.Va, if you just, like, get right on someone's face. So I've started playing her very aggressively, and just, like, looking to kill somebody at all times. As soon as I see somebody, like, remotely by themselves, or off by, like, straying away, I just immediately dive on the dude and try to kill him. And then just leave if I'm feeling threatened, because Defense Matrix, you can still hop away from shit with Defense Matrix. Like, it's long enough that you can get some distance between you. And, like, as long as you don't dive into, like, fucking 3 or more people, you can probably get away with it. Even then, if it's, like, 2 supports and a DPS, you can probably still get away with it, because, like, it's not super likely to kill you. And you have, like, basically, I've just started thinking of the mech as, like, 600 extra HP, and, like, I'll dive in there, try and kill someone, and then there's, like, get out. And you'd be surprised how well that actually works, because D.Va, like, as long as you're decent at tracking, D.Va is, like, can pretty reliably kill somebody who's, like, 200 HP now. Even a tank, really, because, like, it's pretty easy to hit a tank with all of the missiles, because they're pretty big. So, yeah, I've started playing her, like, very aggressively, basically, because since Defense Matrix got nerfed, she can't really tank anymore, because she doesn't have a decent enough shield to do so. So, dive. Fight. Kill people is basically how I've been operating. But my win rate has actually surprisingly gone up since the D.Va changes, which is probably not how most people felt after the D.Va changes, but really easy to kill someone now. So the other question, when Reaper is on babysitting duty and or the whole enemy team is so clumped that there are no good isolated targets to jump, what should I do as Winston? This was actually, like, about Winston, not about D.Va. My bad, thought it was about D.Va. Shows how attentive I am. It's because part of it says, the third match has a specific instance of me switching to D.Va as a response to Reaper. That's what I'm getting confused with. D.Va doesn't really beat Reaper anymore, unless you're just gonna straight out track him. Well, Reaper doesn't track, so, you know. Unless you have to be better at aiming than the Reaper, basically, because Reaper's gonna be healing a lot of HP off of you. D.Va doesn't really counter Reaper anymore. Unless the Reaper is, like, significantly worse than you. And as we know, if a play revolves around the enemy player being bad, it's a bad play. Because you should assume they're gonna play well until shown otherwise. So, I don't recommend changing to D.Va as a response to Reaper. I recommend changing to Roadhog, because Roadhog has the most chance of actually killing the Reaper. Provided you execute it correctly. You know, right-click them, hook, left-click. If you're hooking someone as Roadhog, just, like, take a step into the person before you left-click, and you'll do significantly more damage to you. Reliably one-shot a 200 HP target. So the other question, when the enemy team is babysitting Reaper, all that, what do you do as Winston? basically, you get fucked. Because, like, that's how you play against Winston. You just have the Reaper, kill the Winston, or when the Winston jumps in, you just collapse on the Winston. Like, that's how you play against Winston. So, assuming they're doing that, and they're doing it correctly, you're just gonna get killed jumping in, because that's what you're meant to do, to counter Winston. So, your options are basically, like, coordinate more with your team, because you're going to actually, like, need them to actually do anything at this point, or just change off Winston. Because that's how you deal with Winston. So if they do it correctly, you're just gonna kind of get fucked as Winston. The best you can basically do at that point is coordinate with, like, a Zarya, so you can bubble as you jump in or something like that. Coordinate ultimates with your team. Just, like, fill space and, like, try and, like, prod at people until you've got Primal Rage, because then you've got this giant 1000 HP buffer, for when you do jump into people. You just basically have to be really patient at that point and wait for, like, an opportunity to go in because they fucked up somehow, or you're coordinating with your team. You just have to be really patient at that point, basically, because you just can't jump in anymore. You just have to wait until you can coordinate ults, coordinate with the Zarya, you've got Primal Rage, they make a mistake. It's all you can really do at that point as Winston. Otherwise, just change off Winston to a different tank. If they're playing all clumped up together, Reinhardt might be better, because at that point, like, all the damage is coming at you from one location, so Reinhardt might be better at that point. Orisa might be better if you have another main tank that can instead, D.Va, because she, has more, she's got, like, a slightly longer range than Winston does, and, like, the bomb can be used to split people up if they are all clumped together, that kind of thing. Roadhog, because you can just try and, fish for picks, basically. Winston at that point does become a lot worse, because that's what you do against Winston. So you just have to be patient or change, basically. So, those are the questions from the email. Weird, I know, we're like halfway through instead of at the start, like usual. I don't know, I just felt like they were attached to D.Va, so I just kind of felt like we should do it next to D.Va, you know, even though one of them wasn't actually attached to D.Va, but, you know, close enough. Similar champion, hero, League of Legends. So, we get back over here just in time to see that half our team is dead. So, we should be leaving, because all we're doing right now is giving them ult charge and, like, risking this happening. Because now our team's respawning and coming back right as we died. We should have just backed out, because we were just feeding them more ult charge at that point and risking exactly what was what happened. Where we just get picked off because we're far up and then suddenly we got Beybladed. What can you do? Just don't be up there, basically. So, McCree's using his ultimate as well. We try and block it. That's also happening. We did block High Noon, but Whole Hog also happening, can't really block that anymore, and now we just want to touch the point. Fortunately, they didn't really execute this fight correctly, so we're sort of, getting away with it at this point. If you're, like, fighting somebody who's got, like, a CC, and you're just gonna try and kill them with the missiles, just, like, hold the defense matrix over them as best you can, so that, like, this doesn't happen. Because if the missiles are gonna kill them, you can still be firing the missiles while you're using Defense Matrix. So you can just sort of prevent this from happening. If you're fighting, like, Reaper as D.Va, like, if you use Defense Matrix and your missiles at the same time, that's kind of like how you get split, you, build up the advantage over the Reaper, basically. Like, Defense Matrix being so much shorter now, you know, you gotta be a little bit more inventive with it, basically. And we have the missiles we can use at the same time, so it kind of encourages creative thinking. So, Junkrat started using his tire right next to the point, which is not generally a great idea. We decided that we're just gonna use our ult right here. Fair enough, but then a very risky maneuver to just leave the point, because, to get back in the mech, because there's not many of our team out here right now. So, if we leave the point to get in our mech, and suddenly they come up to touch it, we could very easily be sad right there. Was a fine time to use it. The risky point, because we like zoning and trying to make space and all that, but like the risky part is like leaving the point, basically, because it's at that point during the game where we don't really want to leave, you know. we lost our mech. You know, it's fine if you lose your mech, provided you can get back in your mech again, because you don't want to die as Baby D.Va, because that's makes it really sad, and you effectively just increase your respawn time. So I kind of just think of my mech as like 600 extra HP that I used to dive on somebody, so, you know, whatever. And then as long as you can land a decent amount of shots, you build up your ult quickly. Like, you build up, like, it ticks up fast anyway. It's not the end of the world if you lose your mech. As long as you don't die, because then it is actually the end of the world. The entire world just gone. Right there and then. So we're getting back in our mech right now. Reaper's dead, which is great, because now we don't have to worry about that. We should go and, like, deal with that. Because, like, that's our area. We're meant to go up there and kill that dude. And, like, it's kind of spooky, because we gotta fly up to a Junkrat. You just, like, use Defense Matrix when you're getting close to the dude, and then, like, missile him as you're going in. That's a nut, yeah, you can build, like, a lot. You're just, like, coming up on somebody, and you just, like, hit most of the missiles on them as you're flying in. Makes it a lot easier to just kind of finish the dude off. So, here comes, Roadhog, all nano boosted. He doesn't have his ult, though, so it's very lackluster, honestly. Not very much comes of it. Very close to having our bomb. We have managed to build up our bomb just before we lost our mech, so we can use it again. Lost half our team, again, right there, so not great. Fortunately, May has Blizzard, so that's something. You can see how long this replay is, though, so it'll come as no surprise to anybody that, like, they do indeed push it this last little part.
I was trying so hard. Go, shoot yourself.
They're, like, it's kind of one of those things where you don't really have that many options to sway this round, like, we should be going on the the Junkrat that's up above, and he ended up using his tire, which killed half the team, so if we go up there and, like, deal with that, maybe that doesn't happen. We don't know, because it happened in a parallel universe, but maybe it doesn't happen if we go up and get the Junkrat, and then maybe they don't push it the last little part, you know. Like, the rest of it is kind of like, well, basically, there was the point where we shouldn't have been so far up, and that kind of, like, fed into the rest of the round, because, like,
what do you want me on?
they kept a surprising amount of momentum, really, from, like, getting driven off. They still felt like they had the pressure advantage the entire time, and, like, if half our team was dead, we go up, we get killed, along with half our team as they're getting back. Well, that really fucks things up, and, like, that might have made a difference. If we killed the Junkrat, that might have made the difference as well. Or just, like, pressure him enough that he feels like he has to leave. A lot of it was just kind of, like, a straight snowball through, though, because, I mean, that's, like, how King's Row street phase is, right? You don't expect to defend the street phase. You maybe stall them out for a little portion of it, but they're gonna get through, and then, like, that's the thing. This is the thing with Numbani and King's Row. The second checkpoints are incredibly difficult to defend, for a few reasons, but, like, they're very hard to defend. So the thing is that if you don't play around that correctly, it can be very easy for them to just snowball straight through the third checkpoint as well. Because the third checkpoint on Numbani and King's Row are, like, the best parts of the map. So, to defend, that is. Numbani's first point is, like, kinda better than the third point, but, like, so if you don't play around the fact you're gonna lose the second checkpoint correctly, like, they can just snowball it straight through. Which they almost did here, like, they're very close to it, but we managed to just about stall it out until they had no time left. So, like, they just kind of, like, snowballed through the first part, like, and it made it very hard to actually defend the third point. And we kind of fed into that by dying at an awkward time, basically. I feel like I'm being very coherent today, you know? This feels like kind of terrible, but I'm gonna commit to it, because it's all about making it look like something you meant to do the entire time, basically, which I've kind of fucked up as well, actually, now I think about it, having just said that this all feels terrible. We've stepped on a trap, which is obviously terrible. Watch your feet. So, Winston is, like, really good against their team right now, because, look at that. They don't even have a mercy. The fools. So, we as long as we don't fuck with Roadhog as much as possible, it's, like, great for us. Like, Winston's even good against Pharah. Right, like, it's great times to be Winston right now. It's very surprising to me that they didn't pick Reaper still, because, like, I would expect the attacking team to have a Winston, seeing as we had a Winston on defense. So we got hooked, which is, of course, bad, and we've had to use our bubble, which is gonna really kill our dive for the next, like, 9 seconds. We also can't, like, try and help that dude, but he got hooked as well, so now we got our bubble up, so we're just gonna go in. We kind of just, like, jump into the middle of the team. Like, we don't jump on the people we want to be jumping on, so we kind of don't really get very much accomplished. We create a bit of space for our team, which is, like, cool, but, like, we just kind of jumped in. We didn't really seem to be trying to jump on somebody that we're trying to, like, actually, like, pressure. We just kind of, like, jumped in, like, yeah, this is, like, the point in the team, you know? You do, if possible, want to jump, like, on someone you're good at killing, because then you have the possibility of killing them, which is, of course, good times. So, Junkrat up here, we don't quite land in the window, which is, of course, very sad. If we landed in the window, like, we wouldn't have been able to follow it through to kill him anyway. Here comes the tire. Oh! Didn't quite block it, but he didn't quite do it right either, so it all evens out in the end. Here's Farah. She's mostly dead, but Roadhog's still here. Oh, God. There's a lot of, like, damage, but Mercy is trying very hard to keep us alive, and then Hanzo throws his skill at us. But most of their team is dead. We're capturing the point. It's fine. It's, you know, it's all good. We don't feel very, it doesn't feel very focused during, like, we don't seem to know exactly what we're doing other than, like, I'm in the team fighting right now. It doesn't seem like we have, like, a clear goal in mind, and it's important to have objectives for yourself so you know who you're trying to kill, because we're trying to kill the enemy team, right? Like, technically we're trying to capture the objective, but, like, to do that you have to kill the enemy team. So, if possible, you want to try to be focused down people that you're good at focusing down. If you're playing, like, an aggressive hero, like Winston is. If you're playing, like, Reinhardt, not so much of a thing, unless given an opportunity, but, like, Winston, we are, like, there's a subset of heroes that we're good at killing, so we're trying to find them so we can kill them. Like these fools over here. Like, we just kind of give up on this. Like, if soldiers come up here to fight us by himself, it's no big deal, my man. Like, what you do is you just put the bubble down in front of him, and you start fighting him with the bubble. And, like, if he puts the biotic field down, then you just, like, space it with the bubble, and, like, you're still fine. Like, his biotic field is going to run out sooner or later, and then he has to run away. Assuming you're dancing in and out of your bubble correctly, he's not going to kill you, right? Like, and you'll kill him in the long run, because his biotic field is going to run out. And then, if he's by himself, you'll kill him. Like, we just kind of give up on it. It's not, like, that much of a big deal with Soldier, provided you, like, space it correctly, basically. Or, since we were so close to our ult, we could have, like, gone past him and tried to get in on the Ana and the Hanzo instead, and then, like, been like, well, got my bubble, almost got Primal Rage, I'm just gonna go and fight these guys instead. And then we're fighting, like, their entire back line, so the 5 of our team should be able to fight the remaining 3 people, theoretically. Doesn't always work out that way. Hanzo, what the fuck am I saying? Winston's very good, especially in, like, lower SRs, because people panic, and they don't know how to play around Winston correctly. So, as long as you don't jump in on, like, obviously suicidal things, like, if you look at their backline, and you see, like, Hanzo Soldier Ana, or, like, Hanzo Soldier Mercy, as long as you have enough resources, like, as long as you have your bubble, and your jump, and, like, you play it correctly from going in, they are probably not going to kill you. Because they panic. Winston's a hero that makes people panic. So as long as you're playing with your bubble correctly, you can just jump in on a lot of people and start fighting, and if you're losing, they're not gonna kill you that quickly, because that's the thing with, like, lower SRs compared to higher SRs. People are very bad at finishing kills. So, you can just leave as soon as it starts feeling bad, and, like, they probably won't kill you as long as you don't jump into a terrible situation. So, when you are playing Winston, you should be looking for as many opportunities as possible to dive on the people that you're good at killing, because you will probably kill them, and they probably won't kill you. Bare minimum, they probably won't kill you, provided you leave as soon as you start feeling pressured. Because that's the thing that gets people with heroes like Winston or flankers, is people try and overreach. They start feeling pressured, but then instead of leaving, they just keep fighting. Like, I'm gonna win this somehow. Just leave. Like, it's more important that you stay alive rather than edge on this fight that you're not certain you're gonna win. You're better off just leaving, staying alive, and then going in again when you've got another opportunity. Because it doesn't matter how much pressure you're applying, as soon as you die, all pressure is immediately relieved, because you're not there anymore. So, you should just be looking for as many opportunities to get on the backline as possible, and as long as there isn't, like, a Reaper right there, or a Roadhog right there, you'll probably be fine. Because Soldier isn't going to kill you, McCree isn't going to kill you, Hanzo might kill you if he hits Scatter Arrow on you, but you should be playing around that because you're jumping on a Hanzo. You know what he's capable of, so you should be playing around that. Just, like, find the people... Whenever you're playing as Winston, look at their team and think to yourself, who am I the best at killing on their team? If they got, like, it's generally going to be the supports. They got, like, an Ana. You're good at killing that person. They got snipers. They got Hanzo. You go on that dude. And then you look at the people to avoid. And you go, alright, they got a Roadhog, I don't want to be near that guy. They got a Reaper, I don't want to be near that guy. And you just look for the people that you're good at fighting as Winston, and you just jump on them at every opportunity. And you just make them very upset. That you just make them feel bad for picking the hero they've picked. Because you're always there. And even if you don't kill them, that's, as long as you're pressuring them, that's the important part. Because, like, just think about all the games where you've played, like, think about the games where you play as, like, Soldier or something, and you play against a Winston that's just constantly on you. Even if he doesn't kill you, you feel like you do nothing the entire period of time, because you're always running away from Winston. Winston's always on you, so you're not getting to do your job. Winston's doing his job because he's preventing you from doing your job. Just find those people and bully them at every opportunity. So anyway, let's talk about the game that we're actually playing now. But, like, that's just, like, a general thing that, like, I see with Winston players, where they just, like, jump into the team, and they feel really unfocused, and they don't know exactly what they're trying to do. You're trying to kill the subset of heroes that you're good at killing. Because Winston's an aggressive tank, you know. You can play him defensively. Like, if the enemy team's got a Genji, and he's bullying your backline, yeah, okay, you can sit back and you can protect your backline from the Genji. But Winston is, like, predominantly an aggressive tank, so you're looking to kill people most of the time. You're not just, the goal isn't, like, the goal is, like, distraction. Yeah, but that's kinda nebulous. The best way to distract them is find the people you're good at killing, and try and kill them. And just make sure you don't die, basically. So, fight broke out. It all worked out in the end. Like, we were in there, we fought people, they used ultimates, we couldn't do much to stop the ultimates from happening, but it all worked out for our team in the end through the, like, you know, we can't stop the barrage, we didn't have the bubble for the tac visor, all that business, but it all worked out in the end, and I was busy, like, going on this, like, tirade of, like, kill people. Be bloodthirsty.
You got him right. I heard him.
So, we're really low HP right now. We shouldn't, like, still be up here. When you're low HP, you back up and you wait to be less low HP. Don't just sit on the payload like, it'll work out probably in the end. Just, like, back out and wait to be healed. We have had our bubble, and we haven't put our bubble down, even though we're, like, low HP, and we're, like, fighting these people. Like, put your bubble down, like, fight this dude in your bubble. If you're in your bubble, this dude doesn't kill you. Because he only barely killed you anyway. If you actually put your bubble down, you don't die. And that can definitely be the thing that makes a difference. And, like, Soldier lives and does that and kills Mercy. He died in the end, but he killed our Mercy, which is terrible, obviously. If we just, like, use our cooldown, we kill it. Now we have to back out and reset, because most of our team is dead.
Alright, group up.
It's very sad. We didn't really need to use our bubble there, but, you know, whatever. We're waiting for our team to regroup anyway, so it's probably not going to matter. There's a point where it's too nitpicky, right? Like, we have to reset. It doesn't matter.
Bye, Reaper. Bye.
So, we almost have Primal Rage. So they have Reaper and Roadhog again now, but Reaper is currently dead. So we don't have to worry about it that much. And we've almost got Primal Rage. We get Primal Rage, and now we're going to try and slap these people. This dude right next to a corner, perfect. We beat him to death in the corner.
They have no heals. Kill them now.
That's how you use Primal Rage. We just saw Winston, Reaper teleport past us. No, he's come back to kill us, because he's good at killing us. So he should do. So he's here. He's basically dead at this point. Their team, like, respawning right now, so he's not. We do capture this checkpoint, which will come as no surprise considering the length of the replay, but it takes us a while. It takes long enough that they get the time extension as well. So, but like, we're just we're limping it in, and they're limping out to stall it. If I see a Reaper like Wraith form up to the point, I kind of assume he's gonna use Death Blossom, so I just like put the bubble over him as he's coming out of Wraith form, just in case, basically, because like that's one of those ultimates that sometimes stops you from capturing the checkpoint, just because like it happened. So now we're defending. We've got 55 more seconds than them, so we're feeling good about it. You know, we got nearly double the time they have, which is only a minute, but it is double. That's half of a full round, you know. So, we decide that we're just gonna play Reaper. What the fuck am I saying? Names are hard. English is a stupid language. Don't judge me. So, we're playing Winston. I'd be hesitant to pick Winston at this point because they've had Roadhog the entire game. And they keep changing to Reaper, and like, if they just come at us with Reaper right now, that would not feel very good. I would probably just, like, start as a different tank, basically, just in case they do come out with Roadhog and Reaper, because that does make it difficult to play Winston. Like, D.Va's better, because she can get away more reliably. Even just Orisa, if you've got another main tank. Roadhog, you know. Like, I'd be iffy on picking Winston just because of, like, everything we've seen up until this point, basically. So we jump in on these people, and we wait a while to put the bubble down, which is a little spooky, because you never know what's going to happen. But we get away, and we did put our bubble down, we got away, so it's all good. We were there, people died, we misalign our jump, and we overshoot our target. He died anyway, though, so it's not the end of the world, but don't miss your jump, aim better. Oof, what startling insight. So, they don't have a Reaper and a Roadhog, obviously. They, in fact, have D.Va and Zarya right now, so it all works out. We were shouting "I'm in too deep" that entire time, so I'm going to assume that you know what the problem was with that one. But Mercy's still in the game, so we get to just keep fighting again. Anyway, they don't get the first tick, because they don't build up enough ultimates quickly enough, basically. Like, their team's not that aggressive, because they have, like, an Ana and a McCree. They aren't actually that divey. But, and like, Pharah isn't like super divey. Like, they didn't have that divey of a comp, but they kind of tried to dive, and like, it didn't really work out super well. I don't know, like, we've been playing Winston most of this game. Like, at this point, they should expect it and pick Roadhog and Reaper, because they should expect us to pick Winston, because we played Winston most of the game, but that's, you know, fucking, oh. Pattern recognition, what the fuck is that? Jesus, I don't know anything about that. So, we've only got to get the first tick. We can't lose at this point. We can only not win. So, I always find it so liberating to be in that situation. Like, can't lose anymore. Worst case scenario, I draw. Such a liberating feeling. So, we've lost Pharah immediately coming out of the doorway. I try to avoid going out of the main door on King's Row at this point. I always go out the door on the right-hand side, because, like, it's really hard to cheese that door, because, like, you're so separated. Like, if they try to cheese that door, they probably die from cheesing it, so I just like usually go out that door at this point because like it's so easy to just get like spammed to death going out of the front door or the pulpit. So anyway, it doesn't whatever. We didn't die. So we are going in without Farah right now. Put a bubble down too early, basically. Like, we don't want to jump on this lady, and that's fair enough, because, like, she's close to us. But, like, she is never going to stop rotating around this statue. Like, she's never going to try and come back through us. So, like, we should just wait to put the bubble down until she's starting to reach her team, because, like, she's always going to go that way. She's never going to turn around, so we just kind of leave our bubble behind and have to chase after her. We put it down too soon. So... now we're in too deep, and, like, we, like, commit to it as well. Like, we decide we're gonna stay over there. There's no way that works out well. Like, they're gonna just turn around and kill you because you don't have your bubble anymore, and, like, you're there alone. Like, Farah wasn't even quite back yet. Like, we, like, overcommit to, like, what was not a great idea, basically. And then by the time we try and leave, it's, like, too late, and we, like, bump into somebody. It's all terrible. Roadhog got bumped out, but it didn't really, but unfortunately, you know, he's take a breather and all that, so, but we're in there right now. Anna's backing up into us the whole time. We're behind our bubble. We died. We did kill the Anna, though, and sort of led to the other person dying as well, so it's all fine. We're gonna get back here quick. Honestly, like, as long as you trade, reasonably well on King's Row and you're the attacking team, it's super worth it, because you're gonna get back before they do, because your spawn is right there. They have to go, like, fucking from Narnia to get back to the first point as the defending team. So, like, as long as you trade, like, decently, like, if you trade, like, a DPS for a support, or even, like, a tank for a support, it's probably worth it, because you're gonna get back first. And if you, like, trade, like, 1 or, like, 1.5, 2, then super worth it, honestly, because, like, it was fine, and, like, we get back here way before they do. Like, here's Anna. Like, we're already here. Fight's already basically over at this point. It all works out in the end. So we got there in the end. In the end, we won the game. I love this Roadhog victory pose so much because of the way, like, Twitch is like, who's coming for my dynamite? My dynamite. So, Knives Shadow. Good name. Yes. That's the actual easiest money she's ever gotten in her entire life right there. Good heavens. Oh. So, the thing that stands out the most in this game is just that, like, when we're playing Winston, we just kind of look like we don't really know what we're trying to do. We just kind of, like, seem to have the goal of, like, I'm in here, I'm big, I'm being distracting, but, like, kill people. At the end of the day, Overwatch is about killing the other team. It's technically about capturing the objective, but you can't capture the objective if you don't kill the other team. Right? Like, it's a flow chart. You capture the objective, but above that, you kill the enemy team so you can capture the objective. So, just try and, like, if you're playing a hero that's good at killing certain things, and those are on the enemy team, you should focus those people as much as possible. Because that's kind of the point of playing a counter to somebody, is that, like, you're meant to kill them. It's like when you see somebody, like, we should change to Reaper because they have a Winston, and then the Reaper, like, goes off and plays like a flanker and never actually kills the Winston. He's not doing his job, right? Like, just because you're playing the counter doesn't mean you're actually countering them, right? Like, it's only a counter if it actually works, which requires the other person, like, doing it. So, like, if we counter somebody, we should be trying to, like, focus the person we counter, because that's kind of the point of playing a counter. We don't counter them if we don't try to counter them, you know? So, like, if you're good at killing people, find the people you're good at killing, kill those fools. And then, bare minimum, harass the shit out of them. Make them feel bad. Make them think, fucking this Winston is a pain in the dick. I'm gonna change off of Soldier so I can pick Reaper, and I'm gonna kill Winston. And then the Farah kills the Reaper. And that's how it goes, right? Like, just make them feel bad. Try to kill them. Bare minimum, try to tilt them. By just being a dick, basically. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you felt I didn't answer your questions from the email, adequately, let me know and I'll try to expand further, and I hope you found the video helpful.